Monster.
Yeah. It's also quite interesting that you... Welcome back to the coverage of YCS Prague 2016, the XL edition of YCS Prague, with almost 1,000 players showing up. Last round, we had an exciting match between Marcello Barberi, one of Europe's finest players, who again showed that on the stream, tearing through a Cosmo deck with a 2-0 clean victory.
Yeah, it was really, really good. He's just built it to I want to say to perfection, not in the literal sense, but he's really just cut everything that is unnecessary and just playing all the good cards.
Right.
Instead of, you know.
Very straightforward approach by Marcello. And how was the interview after the match?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, he was telling us about some of his strategies, and we were talking about during the tournament, staying hydrated and things like that. And obviously, he gave
us some advice apart from like how to play the game.
Not just the deck as well. Yeah, talking about the deck, and then he gave us some beard advice as well.
Right. He did have.
Yeah, he gave us some good beard advice.
See, there you go, guys, because you've been asking for this.
It's a lifestyle choice, apparently.
Okay, well. Okay, in this round, if we could bring that up quickly, we got Shung Cheung, who is playing Cyber Dragon Monarchs, not just the standard version of Monarchs. He's also playing Cyber Dragons. If we could have his player history on the stream, please. That would be great. And there you can see how his first 4 rounds today have been going. He's undefeated at this point.
Yep.
As you can tell, because his opponent is always grayed out. So he's been... on
a rampage.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, first round, Mustafa Polat playing one of the other decks, so some rogue deck that we don't have in our top category. Second round, Aris Banias, Draco Performapal. Third round, Alessandro Perone, also Draco Performapal. For Robin Bautz in the fourth round. We don't know exactly what he's been playing, but it definitely looks like he has been on a rampage. And he seems to be prepared for the Draco Performapal matchup, which is what Michele Antonini is playing, his opponent. Let's try to bring that up for you guys. Here you go. We are missing his round 3 result for some reason. But he's, of course, also undefeated. And he has been playing the mirror match, going up against Mermaids, going up against Monarch, and now against Monarch again for the second time in a row.
Yeah.
So very successful players, these two, which brings me, because we have an UK player and we have a player from Italy. Let's bring that up for you guys. That is the country breakdown at the start of the day. And now, after we've been playing a couple of rounds, we can bring you the country breakdown for this round. So don't blink.
That's after, Oh, there we go.
There we go.
4.
So it looks like everybody, like every country has been losing players in a roughly equal amount, I would say.
Yeah.
If you want to compare once more, let's go back to round 1. Well, Italy, 98 Italians. Round 5, 91 Italians. So only 7 Italians dropped.
Yeah.
Very successful. So relatively speaking, Italy went up in numbers. Germany, on the other hand, from 368 down to just 300 in the last round. 64, excuse me. What about the UK? We started with 85 players, and in this round, we got 59. Also dying like the flies.
Yeah, losing quite a few UK players. I spoke to a few of them between the rounds, and they were telling me that they're going to go do the public events. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the reason for that? Did they have any clear?
Well, one of them just shouted wavering eyes at me for a few minutes.
Yeah.
So that was.
So he was terrified of that card.
Yeah. He lost a few games to that card, and then that was it for him.
All right.
But I think it just a few unlucky games.
Well, chances are at the end of the day, Italy is continuing to grow in relative numbers.
Yeah.
These players have always been done extremely well at the past few events. Wouldn't surprise me today. So, looking at these statistics, there's a very good chance that Michele Antonini is going to come out on top.
Yeah, well, yeah, if you think about it like that.
Yeah, but let's see if Sean Cheung can actually best the trend and show us what he can do with his Cyber Dragon Monarch. With that, let's take you to the table where these two guys are already, all prepared to get their game on.
Yeah.
And there are a couple other choices that are interesting in Shun's deck that caught your interest, right?
Yeah, so he's playing Cyber Dragon Monarchs, and obviously that's not just Cyber Dragon, but you can see the other card. So Galaxy Soldier as well. So that provides him quite easy access to Cyber Dragon Infinity, which we know is one of the reasons that the Pepe deck got really kind of
hurt,
cut down because of the easy ability to just use Ptolemaeus to get the Cyber Dragon Infinity out. But the good thing with making it with real level 5 monsters is that you get to keep a lot more material on it, which makes it a lot stronger.
Right.
But it is tougher to make, obviously, with it being level 5 monsters.
Here's one of the most explosive starts we've ever seen.
Yeah.
And with Michele Antonini dropping his hand just with a bottomless trap hole in hand remaining, and I don't think that card's going to stay there for much longer.
No.
Everything on the table after just like 10 seconds, basically.
Yeah, that's really aggressive opening play there.
And is that the right strategy for the Draco Performapal deck? Do you always want to empty your hand on the very first turn?
I don't see any reason why not to in this particular matchup, I guess, because you want to get all your stuff out while you still can.
Do you think he knows what matchup he's in?
I don't think so. Maybe a lot of people were talking about Shun's deck before, and we just, we didn't really know about that. But yeah, I guess we're going to see if it pans out for him here. So let's have a look at Shun's hand. Shun doesn't have any kind of board clearing ability, so that's not going to be a worry for him. So we do have Pantheism, Cyber Dragon. He does have the correct stuff in hand, mostly to make a Cyber Dragon Nova and up there into infinity. But we'll see, because the bottom trap hole is obviously going to stop him there, and a Solemn Strike as well, which was drawn from Lizard Draw.
Yeah.
That's quite lucky.
Wow.
To draw a trap card off of a Lizard Draw.
At the moment, Michele is actually on 13th place in the tournament. I have to scroll a little bit more, I guess, until I find Shun. But at this point, he's 36, so not too bad.
Yeah.
Both of these guys very well on their way to lock themselves up for day 2 of competition.
Yep. So great play here. He managed to get Zephyros into the graveyard and then summoning Zephyros back by putting Monkey Board back in his hand, which is meant to be a cost, but it isn't, because you get to use your Monkey Board again, which is really, really good. Which just sets up your scales straight away by going and searching for another scale for the other side.
Right. So Michele is still not done with his opening turn. His field is just continuing to improve.
Yeah. But so let's have a quick look. So he's not actually playing any big board wipe cards like Dark Hole or Regeki in the main deck. Those are all reserved in his side deck.
Yeah, speaking of side and extra deck, some players on the chat were like, oh, it looks like he is playing an extra deck as a Monarch player.
Yep.
And yes, indeed, he is.
Yeah, a lot of Cyber Dragons in there. Cyber Dragon Infinity, Cyber Dragon Nova. He's also playing Chimeratech Fortress Dragon, Panzer Dragon, and a Chimeratech Rampage Dragon. That's a newer card. But more importantly, here we see a Giant Hand being placed on the field here. So that's the prize card version of Giant Hand. I think one of the judges has spotted something here.
Right, and they're just making sure that everybody's on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's really confusing. You think that the judge is making a mistake when, in fact, we've seen that earlier when the player just didn't activate a card.
Yeah.
Even though it seemed to make perfect sense to activate a card.
Yeah.
All right, so with Performapal Monkey Board in hand.
Yeah, that's going to complete his scales if he needs to next turn.
Yeah, Michele Antonini passes play.
Yeah, as well as a very, very strong board here.
Right.
So firstly, he's going to have to grind through these back row. And then he's going to have to deal with a Giant Hand. And then he's going to have to make something that's bigger than 2850.
So how do you do that? It seems like too many questions the opponent has been asking.
Yeah.
Is there any chance that Shun has that many answers?
So we're going to see him definitely be able to bait out one of the back rows in Bottomless Trap Hole by summoning the Cyber Dragon, I think. Okay, so he's just revealing that he has 3 Prime Monarchs there.
Mm-hmm.
So that was with Pantheism's effect, which is a good thing for him to have, because he can send that to the graveyard with Galaxy Soldier to summon Galaxy Soldier. And obviously you want that in the graveyard. So Shun here is playing Tenacity of the Monarchs, so he can show his Kuraz. He's going to go get another Pantheism. That's surprising. I would expect him to go get a Monarch Stormforth.
Yeah. And of course, some guys are like, oh wow, I would love to play this deck, but I don't have a giant hand. How important is that card for this deck?
Well, Giant Hand's actually being released very soon in the Gold Series set, so people can get their hands on it there and then.
Get their hands on a giant hand.
Yeah. Yeah, so we just see him drawing more cards here, just looking for some answers to this very strong lock.
Another good question. What did he target with the Master Key Beetle? I think it was the trap hole?
It's hard to say because he set both traps at the same time.
I think he did set the bottomless trap hole in the middle first.
Did he? Oh, right, okay.
I'm not 100% sure, I'm afraid.
Okay.
What would be the better choice?
Probably Strike. Strike's stronger than Bottomless, so keeping Strike safe is probably better.
But you can mind trick your opponent by putting it on that card, so your opponent is like, okay, the other card is not that good, and then, well, it is.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, a bit of trickery going on there. So obviously you have to read a Giant Hand. It's not every day that you see one. So this is the play I thought he was going to do. You know, Cyber Dragon and then Pitch Prime Monarch for Galaxy Soldier. Oh, he let that go through. That's really surprising. Maybe not. I guess he can just bottomless trap hole the
whatever comes
that
next.
Exceeds summoned. Yeah. Yeah. It's just gonna be unfortunate if it happens to be like Pleiades or something. I don't know. You know. But okay. Well,
there's an attack.
That's unexpected. Obviously. He's just going ahead and let's just get rid of that Giant Hand straight away. So that's interesting. I was expecting him to try and extend into the back row to get a bit of the back rows out of the way, because obviously there's two strong back rows there.
Right.
If you extended a little into there to get those back rows. So the Prime Monarch here, I think it must be level 5 for him to be able to exceed someone.
Yeah, Pleiades is coming out.
Yeah.
And so far...
Yeah, so that's a great move. So Pleiades is the better choice because you want to try and get rid of that Key Beetle. And yeah, so
Solemn Strike was the one,
was the Key Beetled.
Which is supposedly the better move.
Yeah, I think so.
Unless you want a mind trick. But yeah that's questionable. But
yeah,
then
definitely.
again, it's coming from me, so that makes sense. All right, 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 more cards in hand, indeed. I stand corrected.
So we're still yet to see a normal summon.
It's interesting. Basically, Shun has lost a single card so far, but he's already gotten rid of 2 cards of his opponent. So that's a good start for him.
That's a very good start.
And
so he sees a Panzer Dragon here. Now, Panzer Dragon's very interesting. So he's, you may question why is he summoning this in main phase 2. Few reasons. He may be trying to use that for an Exceed summon, but when Panzer Dragon's destroyed by instant fusion in the end phase, Panzer Dragon allows you to destroy a card on the field, which is really good.
Yeah.
And obviously it looks really awesome as well. It's just it's like a dragon with a wrench coming out of it. Oh no, it's not. It's a little gun coming out of its mouth.
Yeah.
Looks pretty cool.
It's very unique.
I like Panzer Dragon.
Yeah, one can tell. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like a little tank-looking dragon dude. It's pretty nice.
All right, then also Galaxy Soldier.
Yep. So
it's just not that cool, I guess, but
he's nice. He's nice as Galaxy Soldier. He's a big 5-star monster. He replaces himself when he gets summoned, which is fantastic. You just get to go get another one from your deck to your hand, which is really nice. Right. So I don't think there's going to be much more to be done here.
Right, you got a second instant fusion, a Maxi, and the return of the Monarchs.
Yeah.
Like, it really doesn't look like there's much else happening.
Yeah, I think he's going to summon this Galaxy Soldier. I'm surprised. Oh, no, he did, didn't he? He got rid of that. I'm surprised that if this doesn't get bottomless, or at least he could wait for Cyber Dragon Nova and bottomless the Cyber Dragon Nova. But definitely, I would be very surprised if we don't see bottomless trap hole played this turn.
Right.
Very surprised. Yeah, so as I said, you go get your Galaxy Soldier again. So, people see the send the card to a graveyard as a bit of a cost, and it is indeed, but, you get another one to replace it, and you get the one on the field, so there's no minus there at all.
Yeah. It seems too good to be true, almost.
Yeah, that's a very good card. So he decided not to bottomless the Galaxy Soldier, and he's going to go into Nova here, and then question mark if Nova's fine. So, nope.
Nope.
He's going to read his own Nova. He's questioning whether he gets Nova's effect, because when Nova is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you get to special summon, I think it's just a machine fusion from your extra deck for just no cost. You just summon it.
Right.
Actually, some of the guys who were playing Cosmo from the UK were playing this, so Cyber Dragon Nova. And if people were striking Cyber Dragon Nova, it gets its effect. And then they were playing Cyber End Dragon for use with Cyber Dragon Nova.
If somebody wasn't aware of this effect, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe
Because you
just
have space in Cosmo's
yeah.
extract.
So yeah, very good strategy actually.
Yeah, no reason not to.
All right. See, also playing Magna Liga and Red Layer is one of the questions I just saw on the stream.
He's not playing any of the Super Quantum cards. And what was the other card that was being asked?
Red Layer and Magna Liga. Magna Liga? Interesting
No,
enough.
he's not playing Magna Liga either.
Yeah, it was a good start for Shun, but then he kind of got caught by that bottomless trap hole.
Yeah, I mean, if either of those trap cards weren't there, I mean, he got so lucky getting the strike off of Lizardrox. If either of those trap cards weren't there, then we'd see an Infinity sat on the board right now, which is, pretty good. I think Shun's going to have a hard time having a hard time getting another turn here because of the amount of pendulum summoning that we're going to see.
Yeah, it really looks like Michele is going to be able to flood the field.
Yeah.
Is that going to be it already? Is it going to be enough damage?
20, 25, and then 2850, that's like 5, 350. So we only need 2, 650.
Well, in any case, it's a very big swing.
Yeah.
This looks like enough.
No, Master Pendulum.
He did drop the Max C, though.
Yeah, I don't think that's enough.
Shun. So he did draw into something else, I think. But Domain of the True Monarchs is not going to be that helpful.
No, I bet he wish he had that turn 1.
Neither.
I don't think Lizardraw's got a lot of attack. I think it's only got about 800 attack. Well, that should still be enough, I guess. That's exactly enough.
No, Lizardraw has 1,200.
Oh, does it? Oh, I knew it was low.
Vector Pendulum 1,000.
1,000. Yeah, so that is enough.
1850.
This is enough here.
Yeah. Wow. That's on his second turn. Michele Antonini.
Yeah.
Throwing everything on the table.
Yeah, definitely.
Still going through something. I'm not sure if that's necessary, to be honest.
I think Shun might just be holding off to see as much information as he can.
Yeah, and he should. Like, why would you just wrap things up when you can see, okay, my opponent is playing some special super secret technique card or something?
Yeah.
And also, one thing that always makes me raise my eyebrow is when somebody is defeated and then he shows his face-down cards. And he's like, oh, look at this. I got all these cards that they weren't helping. And the opponent's like, yeah, and now I know that they won't be helping in the second game because I'm prepared for them.
Yeah, exactly. So this might not be game. Because if I remember correctly, he does have the trap card, the Monarch trap card in his grave. So he can just summon that. Summon that back.
That's an excellent
but
point.
We'll see.
But Michele is not... It doesn't look like he's going to attack anytime soon.
No, he's still going. I think he's just going to do one more. Okay, so he's going to force the activation of the trap.
Yeah. And I think that's a smart play again.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
With this Abyss Dweller. First he draws a card for Maxi, and now he's going for it. Yeah. Trap is coming back.
So he has to. That's going to come out in defense mode, and then he can just use the Draco Slayer Synchro's effect to shuffle it away.
And that should be it.
And then normal summons Ariadne.
Yeah, that's it. There's a little bit of a handshake. Not that common, because some people mistake the handshake for a way of saying, like, good match rather than good game.
Yeah.
And, that was the first game already with Michele Antonini.
Yeah.
Defeating Shun Cheung. So Italy 1, UK 0. And I really want to know what's the reason for Italy being this strong in these larger tournaments.
Yeah, I think they just have a very large player base.
Yes, but I think for them it's more quality over quantity, to be honest. So? I mean, they have a lot of players, but you got 98 showing up and 93 are still in competition. That's a very good quota.
Yeah. Oh no, I think the sheer amount of like good ideas that they have about decks and things like that, and just their deck building is quite solid.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's no reason to question those guys at deck building.
maybe it's also that they are working like as one unit, as one single unit.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. What do you think is the case in the UK?
I'm glad. It's one of those things where I kind of 50% always want to talk about it, and then sometimes I don't. I think recently there was quite a big movement in the UK to try and
get the UK on top, yeah?
Get on top, yeah.
Yeah.
I was kind of keeping involved with that a little to see what was going on.
It's always kind of funny when you see Jay Quincy flying to the US, for example, like a month ago or something like that. I think it was in Atlanta. And he's like, I'm going to take this home for the UK. And at some point, it almost feels like it's turned to a running gag. With, I mean, I'm not trying to make fun. I'm just like pointing at the facts. I know they hurt, guys. But he's like, yes, this one for the UK. And everyone's like, yeah, maybe. Not so sure about that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that
What was the last UK champion at a YCS? Was that back in Brighton?
Yeah, I think it was Brighton.
That's a couple of years
was Sheffield? Did we have one at Sheffield as well?
I'm not sure. I might look that up. While you might want to have a look at the side decks if there's anything interesting there.
Well, I'll finish telling you about the UK movement. So yeah, a lot of the UK players tried to get together, and a lot of these guys, represent them teams and things like that. We were trying to get a team together to share ideas and things like that, and it just got to the point where all the people who kind of really had worthwhile ideas to share didn't want to share them.
Okay.
And it just, and everyone kind of has their own subcultures in the UK. Like the Scottish guys always stick together, the guys from down south always stick together, and it doesn't seem to be like we've managed to get.
I mean, it's kind of obvious that the UK are not really team players because they also want to get out of the European Union.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. Yeah.
No, but in fact, we have two UK champions. One of them was Matt Collins back in 2010 for YCS Milan, winning with Plant Synchro, and then of course Ping Xiao. I think the correct order would be Xiao Ping actually, who won with Dino Rabbit back in Brighton, and that was in 2011. So yes, long time no UK champion.
Was that not? Oh no, that wasn't.
That was it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Thanks, Ollie.
Yeah. Sorry for crushing your spirit.
Right. Well, let's talk about these side decks now, shall we?
Yes.
So, we see Anti-Spell Fragrance coming straight out here from. I feel confused.
You feel confused?
Yeah, the Draco Pal players just played Anti-Spell Fragrance.
That's not something we see every day.
No, that seems crazy. Does he realize he can't play his own pendulum cards now? Oh, here we go. Yep, going in. That's it. That's what we're gonna see for the rest of the game.
Beat down?
Him going in, yeah. He's only got to hit him 5 times. I'm really
shocked.
Like,
yeah,
I'm really
I feel like Houston, we got a problem. We just lost Luke.
I don't really know what to say about this because
it's very unconventional.
Yeah,
is one way to put it.
I think Shun should just flip a Mask of Restrict up right now and have it done with. Like that'd certainly make things less confusing. Yeah, I don't get it.
All right.
So I think the strategy here might be that just playing Anti-Spell Fragrance slows them down enough for you to be able to just play Beatdown, and you have a lot of good Beatdown monsters. I don't know. I'm plucking at straws here.
It doesn't sound like you're very convinced, to be honest.
No, I really don't know what's happening here. Anyway, right, so let's try and evaluate Shun's hand a little bit more.
Yes.
So he's got the Prime Monarch, which he can use to get his tribute summons going. He's got the Monarch Stormforth set, which is obviously fantastic. He just needs to get a monster that he can use a single tribute for, which I think he has. Yeah. Yeah, he can do that and then get Prime Monarch back, and then he can tribute someone for Erebus. And I think it's fine just to
it doesn't seem like Shun is under a lot of. He's not having a lot of problems because of his anti-spell fragrance so far.
Yeah, but he's still gonna not have a lot because Solemn Warning's gonna stop the.
Yeah.
the summon of. Oh, okay, there we go. Yep. So Ether's going to come out. Maybe. Oh no. Okay, this is getting someone warning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say Ether's effect would be useful right now, but yeah, that's. So still, we're in a very simple game state right now. That's what it's called. It's called the simplified game state. That's just what it's called. So Michele is just going to probably summon his Pendulum Sorcerer, or if he draws a bigger monster, then he's going to summon that instead. And then that's it. He's just going to keep attacking, trying to get his opponent's life points down.
Yeah, vanilla beatdown.
Yeah, very simple game state.
All right, and we got a Lizard Draw and Pendulum Sorcerer.
Yeah, and I think he's got one more card that he just drew for turn. So yeah, that's Pendulum Sorcerer, and he's just going to attack. I don't think there's anything else to be said about it. He's just going to attack. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think he's.
Yeah, it works well so far.
Yeah,
it's just.
It's a good strategy to simplify the game state in certain matchups, and it seems to be working for him right now.
We just don't expect this to last, right?
No. So there's a strike.
There's a Solemn Strike. It's also kind of lucky that he does throw into those counter traps.
Yeah. Considering he only plays like 5 trap cards, he's seen 2 of them already.
Yeah, and maybe it's a strategy of confusing your opponent. I mean,
yeah,
that could be possible. But no, for the time being, it does work for Michele Antonini. He continues to bring the beat down, with Shun not really having any way to fight back so far.
Yeah. I think he's going to have to somehow get another spell card in the grave. So he's got Patheism set, so he's going to be able to do that.
Yeah, next turn he's going to activate that.
If he's got he's got Return of the Monarch, so he can discard that. That's good.
And there's a second copy of Anti-Spell Fragrance.
Oh, is it?
Not that useful for Michele.
No. So Patheism discarding the Return of the Monarchs there. Let's see if he's got some cards to back this up after drawing.
He does have
okay, so at most he's going to be able to summon Kuraz here, but you know Kuraz is going to get hit by Solemn Strike. This tactic's surprisingly working right now.
Yeah, I think that was exactly the way that Michele was planning it.
Yeah, no, this is a perfectly legitimate strategy. It's just really hard to analyze when you go such a strategy because it's pretty much just attack.
But yeah, you also have to draw all the Solemn cards, though.
Yeah, that was really lucky on his part.
Because like when he first activated it, he had one. He had Solemn Warning.
Yeah.
But that was it. But
so yeah,
then every turn, he just drew into a second Solemn card. And
yeah.
Is that it? Is there anything else coming? For sure.
I don't think so. He should have another spell engraved though. So he's going to be able to block with the trap card, I think. Yeah, I think he's got one more spell engraved, so yeah, I can see a spell. He's going to be able to block with the trap card.
Yeah, okay, so he's not out of this yet.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't set Domain of the Monarchs. It's a field spell.
Yeah.
Maybe he was confused and didn't want to set it or something. I don't know.
I'm not sure if he ended already, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, the only reason I thought he did is
maybe he's still able to do it. But no, actually he did end because Michele drew into another card.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's surprising.
Yeah, that was Shun just having a look at his graveyard thinking, I got really unlucky here. He's seen 3 of the Solemn Toolkit out of his 5 trap cards that he main decks. It's not like the thing is he's not like he's like side decking like Mirror Force or whatever to back up the beatdown. He's just
it's not like he can really commit to this interesting strategy. It seems like he's just throwing them in the anti-spell fragrances and then he sees how it goes after that.
It's what's strange is I don't actually think it's made that much of a difference.
Yes, Maxi.
It's not made that much of a difference the having the anti-spell fragrance because Shun just hasn't really had much to do anyway. It's just been Solemns that have dealt with what he had.
Yeah.
The anti-spell fragrance was just really confusing.
Kind of hindering both players equally.
Yeah, but well, Michele really like a lot more than than Shun.
Oof, that really hurts for Shun, to be honest, because that's like one of the weirdest ways to give a game away.
Yeah, I think he still has the. Yeah, he can
Yeah, he
still
does
block.
have it. Yeah.
He can block with the Prime Monarch. I think it's got 2400 defense, so that's not going anywhere. However, he's obviously going to be fearing, is that the last Solemn Strike set there?
Yeah. Well, we know, of course, it's the second copy of Anti-Spell Fragrance.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's...
So we can see an overlay happen here. He's probably going to try and deal with that Prime Monarch so that he doesn't have anything to tribute. Yeah, so he's got a Traptrix Reflacia.
Yeah, but the good news is, of course, that Shun is going to see another turn.
Yeah, that Traptrix Reflacia is going to play. Basically, you can play trap hole cards from your deck by detaching a material. That's what Reflacia does.
Right.
So he still has bottomless trap hole in his deck.
Right.
So he can just detach one and then bottomless. It basically, whenever the trigger would be met for one of your trap cards, you can use its effect.
And there's Tenacity of the Monarchs.
Yeah. Ooh, that's interesting. He could go and search for, search for Monarch Stormforth. So then he can Stormforth the Traptrix Reflacia, and then summon Ether during his opponent's turn.
That sounds like one of the best strategies I've seen so far.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's going to be his best bet, to be honest.
This game is very unconventional. This is definitely not what we were having in mind.
Good.
I mean, we were expecting that it goes kind of crazy thanks to Cyber Dragon Monarchs, which is not your usual Monarch build.
Yeah, we've not seen a lot of any of the Cyber Dragon stuff now.
But the way this has been playing out is completely unexpected.
So hold on, he's got another card. What was it? Okay, Draco Face Off.
Draco Face Off, yeah.
I thought if that was going to be bottomless, that was going to get really sad.
Yeah, that would be really, really sad.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's super.
So Shun needs to go for it.
Yeah. So there's no reason. I don't think there's any reason to do it during his opponent's turn. Like summon Ether, there's no reason to do that. He can just hold out, and then I think if he Monarchs, I think he is going to do it during his opponent's turn actually.
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah.
I think he didn't draw yet.
Yeah. So we'll see.
That's definitely a very good way to get rid of the Rafflesia.
Yeah, so he's actually summoning Erebus. So he's going to use Erebus' effect. And he's going to think, what? I'm allowed to resolve cards?
Yeah. How come you didn't draw yet another Solemn card?
Yeah. So he's going to send two of his Monarch spell traps to the graveyard. And then he's going to be able to send away his opponent's cards.
And I think that's actually one of the other copies of Anti-Spell Fragrance that he hit right there.
Yes, yeah. So he's just got Draco Face-Off set right now, which can only be used to special summon a Draco Slayer monster because of the way that the Anti-Spell Fragrance interacts with the zones.
Right.
So here we go. He's going in now. He's got Instant Fusion as well, and he's going to scoop it up.
Yeah. Wow. Excellent comeback from Shun Cheung. Standing with his back against the wall against an Anti-Spell Fragrance and, more importantly, a couple of Solemn cards. But he does find a way out.
That's really confusing.
That was one of the weirdest games we've seen. Many of you were like, okay, this game is over, right when he flipped the Anti-Spell Fragrance. That's far from the truth. The game continued over a couple more turns, but in the end, it was Shun Cheung who was able to tie the score with one game victory each. That's basically meaning we're starting from scratch.
Yeah.
That's equal distribution of victories. And for the second time and the last time, it's going to be up to the side decks to decide a winner in this game.
Yeah.
And
the chat actually identified that he must have passed to his next turn because Stormforth couldn't have been played because of anti-spell. Anti-spell makes it so you have to stay on for a full turn.
Yeah.
So yeah, he must have gone. We just didn't see him draw, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, but either way.
Yeah, that's a good point, yeah.
Either way. Yeah.
All right. Maybe the app just took a little longer to load the next card in.
Yeah, when we were watching, yeah.
Seems like there's not that much siding in.
No, I think
side taking going on for Michele Antonini. I don't know if he exchanged any cards, to be honest. So there is a chance that we're going to see the anti-spell fragrance again,
Yeah.
which is really, really odd.
Yeah. I wonder who he's going to pick to go first. I kind of think he's going to go first. And the reason for that is because that Shun is playing very much I'm going to make Cyber Dragon Infinity, and you're going to do nothing about it. That's the strategy that he's using. So that's obviously really, really good first turn.
Yes.
So it's it's kind of interesting. We'll see who Michele decides to go first.
Yeah, will you want to go first?
I think he's going to want to go first. If he's keeping in the anti-spells as well.
Yeah. Those are a lot more useful when you're going first.
Yeah. So let's see how the hands pan out here. That's rough. Shun's drawn 2 copies of the Prime Monarch. He only plays 3. Yeah, so Michele went first.
You should say he only plays 3.
He plays... Yeah.
He only
He
plays
plays three
the maximum amount?
The maximum three copies of the Prime Monarch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really should have been playing 4.
Should have been playing 4. For consistency,
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so he's got a second donkey as well. Hopefully he's going to be able to get that off.
It would have been amazing if he won with anti-spell fragrance.
Yeah.
I just have to say it. What does that do to your mindset? I mean, either Michele is one of these guys who clearly doesn't really care about what others think about the way he's playing.
Yeah, his strategy.
Yeah. Or he was trying to impress a couple of guys with this move, and that kind of backfired here.
Yeah. It's one of those things. So, like, people always refer back to the Royal Oppression Black Wings format, where you'd do all your special summoning, or even Dad Return and stuff. You do all your special summoning, and then flip up your oppression and be like, right, we're both allowed to use oppression, but I've got all my stuff out.
Yeah.
So you can go ahead. And that's kind of, I think, how he wanted to play it. He wanted to, do some stuff, then play anti-spell fragrance, and be like, right, well, I'm fine. I'm all set up. I'm all set. You have fun doing what you're doing.
Yep.
But obviously that didn't pan out here. So he summons the second donkey. So the second donkey, very cute donkey card.
Are there a lot of those? Is that a category?
It's a Performapal. They all look pretty cute.
Yeah, okay.
So when it's normal summon or special summoned, you can send a Performapal monster from your deck to the grave, except a second donkey. And then if you've got 2 cards in your pendulum zones, instead you can just add it to your hand, which is fantastic. And straight up here, we've just seen
another solemn
warning.
Yeah. If the card is if the card name features solemn, chances are Michele did draw into it.
And there's anti-spell fragrance again.
Yep.
So he's just going to set his whole...
So like we said, he didn't really take a lot of time accessing his side deck in between games.
But as we said before, he managed to do what we thought, which is set up. He's ready to go.
Yeah.
He's got all his scales. He doesn't need to set any more spell cards. And now he's just going to be able to go absolutely bonkers all over this field.
In the background, I could just hear that the main event, time has been called in the round.
Yeah.
But our match started a little bit later.
Yeah.
And by a little bit, I mean quite a bit.
Yeah. We're still looking to
so
finish pretty soon, though.
At least 5 more minutes, more likely like 10 more minutes, to be honest. Didn't feel like it was already 30 minutes.
Yeah, it doesn't actually. That first game must have taken a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's an interesting matchup.
Yeah, it certainly is, yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun, Ollie.
And we are having fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, so 4 face downs for Shun. Let's just recap this. Instant Fusion, Prime Monarch, Raigeki, the Prime Monarch. The second copy of it.
Yeah.
Not good news.
Not the 4th.
Yep. Either the Heavenly Monarch in his hand, not doing anything at this point in time. On the other side of the field, we got Michele Antonini with Draco Face of Performapal second donkey in his hand. And slightly more impressive field with all of these cards.
Yep. So he's going to normal summon the second donkey. I think he pendulumed the first one. So he's going to be able to summon the second donkey. And he's going to add a pendulum wizard to his hand. Yeah, so I think he already pendulum summoned the first second donkey, but I'm not too sure. But he can just extend right now all the way into these 4 back rows.
Although he doesn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think he's got to take the chance.
He can suspect that those are all spell cards, or most of them are spell cards, but you never know.
No, you don't. But I think he can extend his combo in such a way where it doesn't matter if they're trap cards. It's kind of good if they are, because he can just extend like into some other exceed plays, and just really try and bolster his field because of even if it is back row, it's just getting rid of it. He needs to get rid of it at some point.
Yes. I know that a lot of players are just responding, this card is no longer good enough, but how come that Torrential Tribute is not a good card at the moment when you look at this?
Well, I guess it's because it's a trap. It's really slow. People play Dark Hole and Raigeki, they're faster.
Yeah.
You get the job done much more quickly.
All right. And what about Mirror Force? The same logic applies.
Trap card. It's really, really slow.
It's a trap card.
Yeah.
Keep away with your traps.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, even the Prime Monarch, the only reason it's played is because of its graveyard effect.
Yes.
That's the only reason.
Well, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, oh no, it's great. It's a really great card for the Monarch archetype. So let's see how much he decides to do here. Oh, he's just going to attack with everything. So I think second donkey's got 1,000 attack. Yeah, 1,000 attack points. That's 2,000 for the 2 donkeys, 1,800 for the Skullcrabat Joker, and 2,300 for the King of Feral Imps.
Yep. Or in other words,
so that's
it's a lot.
71 or 61. 61, yeah.
Yep, because only 1,100 life points remain for Shun.
Yeah.
Not looking good again.
Yeah, however, he does have the Raigeki. So yeah, he's definitely not wanting any Prime Monarch shenanigans right now. Yeah, so he's going to be able to flip up the Raigeki, which is the first step into recovery here. That was really weird. He flipped that card up really weirdly.
Almost like a trap.
Yeah. You triggered my trap card.
Yeah. But no, that is not what happened. It is Shun's turn.
Yeah. So he actually drew into a Max C. That's really, really rough. that could have been really useful last time.
Yeah. The UK players were hoping for something else.
Yeah.
Not rough.
Yeah. So he's going to play his Max C now. Not Max C, sorry.
His Panzer Dragon.
His Panzer Dragon. Instant fusion into Panzer Dragon. That's what I was thinking. He's going to set his Max C. And then Panzer Dragon is going to just destroy one of the scales. So that stops any further plays by any further pendulum plays by Michele here. And yeah, that should be it.
Yep.
So that was Draco face off as well. So yeah, that was quite a long game. That was quite a long game.
What a match! Yes.
Yeah.
Very close to timeout in this game.
Yeah, very close.
Very interesting resolution with Michele Antonini actually winning with an anti-spell fragrance.
With the anti-spell fragrance in Dracopals.
Yeah, that's unheard of.
Yeah, that was just, I got stunned for a moment.
Did anybody mention this to you? Hey, I got a hot take.
No. I've not heard
fragrance?
anyone talking about this, but it's never out of the question. Whenever there's any kind of floodgate card that's good in against a deck, putting it in that deck, doing all your stuff, and then playing it is pretty good.
Right. I mentioned this earlier. Shun Cheung was 36 at the start of this round.
Yeah.
So he's certainly not moved into the top 32 of this tournament. Maybe we can show you guys the other players that are very close to this so-called cut-off point at the 32nd place. Let's take a quick look at the pairings, if that's okay. There we go. You see that little, not exactly invisible, but that little line between 32, 33. This is the magic border, so to speak, where everybody who's on top of that border is going to be happy, and everybody below that border is not going to be that happy.
Yeah, going to have a really sad time.
And we know a couple of these guys. Temis Toklis, Dützis, mostly just going by the name Temis.
Yeah.
Because it's a little bit easier for us.
Yeah.
Simone Falanga, I remember that name.
Yeah,
definitely
I remember that name as well.
Top 32 or something at one point.
Yeah. Eugen, obviously.
Yeah, Eugen Heid, of course, former European champion. And I think
Jake
even
Malander.
Jacob Malander, I think we also had him before.
Yeah, he's really famous in our, well, I say really famous, in the UK for playing heroes. Everyone always goes on about him playing heroes.
Yeah. And then if you look at the next page, these guys, same record, also 4 wins. So very much on top of the field, just worse tiebreakers.
Is it Umut?
Yeah, Umut Serin, of course, one of the guys that we know. Frédéric Lanoy, remember seeing him before.
I recognize Adrian Koch as well.
Yeah.
Can't remember where from, though.
And let's bring up yet another page. So you got some more live pairings. We can go 2 down. Kevin Semlali.
Ruben Lima.
And Ruben Lima, yeah. We had these guys before in the feature match. Lorenzo Santoni, of course, also a former YCS champion.
Yeah.
So as you guys can see, and here's the end of the undefeated players. Those are the last few.
Yeah, so Long Dao, Jake Quincy.
Yeah, Jake Quincy is still in there.
Oh, no, he's actually
3-1 actually, yeah.
Still very... So his loss must have been to someone quite high up in the rankings because he's, his tiebreakers brought him all the way up to the 3-1s there.
Right. And let's take another look at the top of the field. We've seen Eugen before. He was the very first in our little list.
Yep.
Here are the guys that are currently on top of Eugen in terms of the standings. Marcello, of course, who we saw the round before.
Yeah.
Paolo Pacciana, also from Italy. Very successful and also very much in competition this weekend. Let's move all the way up. Here we go. Matej Jacob. I think Slovenia. Don't want to say the wrong country.
Remember.
I think it was Slovenia. He's a former national champion, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think he was a national champion because we interviewed him at Euros.
Yeah.
Didn't we?
So, yeah.
And obviously Luca Certoni, we were talking about him earlier.
Yes.
He won his YCS title in Bochum.
Right. Then we got Ali Favas, one of the guys, a part of the illustrious group with Norman Wilde and Joshua Schmidt, Alpay, all of the Eugen Heid, also member of this group. Yeah. Kim van Kampenhout, Belgian national champion, I think 2-time or maybe even 3-time Belgian national champion. Yeah. So another player that's making some headlines in the past.
Yeah, Jerry's he came to study in the UK and he's been absolutely dominating the UK circuit.
All right.
He's been very involved with the UK players as well. So he's been providing a lot for the UK players.
Okay. Studying here even though he's from Canada.
Yeah.
Okay, very interesting. Yeah. Stefano Momioli, of course, a former European champion, yet another former European champion. We've got a couple of those, of course, but this game has been around for quite a while. Yes, and let's look at the very top of the field to wrap things up in this little part. I can't say I remember, I recognize a lot of these names. Aaron Kasemi, I remember that we had him on the stream at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a well-known UK player. I don't recognize Jawad.
I think that's pretty much it, to be honest.
Yeah.
So at the top of the field, a couple of guys we haven't seen before, and so the whole thing is shaping up nicely.
Yeah, we're how many? I can't remember how many rounds were announced that we were doing today. To be honest,
should be 8.
8 rounds today. So we're just coming up to the over halfway mark.
Yeah.
And we've got loads more to show.
Yes, and with every additional round, this is looking more and more interesting, to be honest, shaping up more and more. And you can tell lots of the veterans have dropped the game already.
Yeah.
Like Joshua Schmidt is one of them. Also lost one game.
Opinion as well. Yeah.
Federico's, yes, good point, yeah. So it's not like even if you're a veteran, you've got all the skills, it's not like you're always going to win. Like sometimes you have to come from behind, you lose the first round, and then you have to work your way up again.
Yeah, sometimes these players don't go into the tournament thinking, I'm going to win every game.
Yeah.
It's sometimes you've got to make your own luck with your deck. You go into it and think, right, I'm going to go in and I'm going to maybe lose a couple of rounds during Swiss. But when it gets that top cut, I'm going to really hope that my deck comes through for me.
Yeah,
and
that's also
play those risky plays.
Exactly, that's also a big deal. Actually, you can build a deck that is really good at making day 2 or making the top cut.
Yeah.
Or you can play a deck that might not be that good in the Swiss rounds, but once you are in the top cut, got very, very good matchups. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's interesting decisions like playing an anti-spell fragrance
Yeah.
in your side deck as a Draco Pepe player.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things where you really sit down and you decide before a tournament, where do I want to be? Do I want to get to the top 8?
And that's it for the day?
Yeah, is that it? Is that me? Do I want to get to the am I a regional? Do I want to definitely qualify for the European Championship?
Yes, yeah.
Do I want to just win the prize? Do I want to build my deck
Yeah.
in such a way where I'm going to get to the top cut and do that? It's all about just choosing like whereabouts you're really aiming for.
It's the same thing in the game where we see players holding back, and then at one point they go in, and that's like the most crucial decision you can make.
Yeah.
When do I throw my cards on the table, or when do I just like wait for another turn?
Yeah, and sometimes it's too late, or sometimes you just get it bang on the money.
Right. All right, guys. With that, we're going to take another short break after our round 5 feature match. We should have 3 more today. I'm just going to clarify with the scorekeeper in between rounds. And then we're going to be back with the next feature match, of course. Maybe we'll also do a little bit of another halftime show if you want. Just let us know in the chat. We're reading it. And until then, guys.